What's up you guys, and welcome back to BlazeTech. And in today's video we're going to be going over the Apple AirPods as well as the AirPod pros and cons of both, and which I would personally recommend depending on your particular situation and particularly what your budget is, since there is a bit of a price difference between the AirPods and the AirPods Pro. So as you can see, I have the AirPods, which is the wireless version 2, and over here I have the AirPods Pro, which unfortunately I had to get two pairs of these because my first one broke because I dropped it in my coffee cup. Note to you guys, don't drop your AirPods in your coffee cup because they will break. As you can see, I have the real AirPods, it's not just the actual packaging itself. This particular case I got from Apple, I believe it was about $40. It's cool, it's not so bad. It's got a little LED light to actually show if your AirPod Pro casing is actually charged, and that's pretty cool. As for the other ones I will show you, these are the Apple AirPods wireless version 2s, and as you can see they're pretty icky because I need to go clean them, and it's just with a third party off brand off white case that was about $20 and I got it from China. Unfortunately it's a bit annoying to get off, however I do think it looks cool. Unfortunately on the back it doesn't show the LED light to show that's charging, or the button that you can press where you can tap and hold it to connect it to another device such as your computer, whether that be a Windows computer that has Bluetooth on it, or another Mac device such as a iMac, a MacBook Pro or Air, or you want to go and connect it to a iPad mini, iPad Pro, or a whole new iPhone in general. Now as for both of these, I use both of these on a pretty regular basis. I'm going to go through the AirPods first, then I'm going to go through the AirPods Pros, and I'm going to be telling you the pricing of them once I bring that up on my computer because I cannot memorize it off the top of my head. However, I will throw it on the screen and I can tell you the pros and cons of both, why you might want to get both or one over the other regarding both the AirPods Pros and the original AirPods. So as for the original AirPods, I got the version 2, which comes with the wireless charging case. So what that is, in case you don't know, is your actual AirPods. You can stick them in the case as long as the case is charged, simply by plugging it in by a lightning cable either to your power board or your computer or your MacBook, and it charges up, and it's a wireless charging system, which is pretty cool because the original ones didn't have that feature, and it's about a $30 price difference at the time I actually went and bought them, so that was cool. However, the original AirPods come in at a price of $319 Australian currency, as on the Apple website. I'm using the Apple website for reference sake because I want to use their metrics instead of other metrics. However, if you do want to shop around, such as other companies like Best Buy, JB Hi-Fi, Harvey Norman, Amazon, etc., you can get different prices, either cheaper or more, just depends where you shop. And if you want to get these AirPods, either the Pro versions or the originals, I will leave a Amazon affiliate link in the description below, and if you do buy them I receive a small commission, so that's much appreciated if you do go buy them. As for the original AirPods, I use them when I am listening to Audible in my home specifically, and when I am making calls to either my friends, my family, my girlfriend, or whoever that person may be. I like to use the original AirPods way more than the AirPods Pro. And as for the quality of the actual mic picking up your voice, I would say that the AirPods Pros and the original AirPods, they're much of the same, and you're not really going to hear a difference unless your sensing in your ears are actually pretty good regarding decibels, and just for comfort of easily slipping in the AirPods into your ears compared to the AirPods Pros, because you don't gotta tuck them in or anything. Unlike the AirPods Pros, the original AirPods you just tuck in, and it's nice and simple to get in, get out, have a quick call, plug them in, have your talk, take them out, put it in the case, done. It's nice and easy, and since it isn't snugged into my ear unlike the original AirPods, I actually feel more comfort compared to the AirPods Pros, even though on the AirPods Pros I like the sound more. I like the features of having a transparency mode, a normal mode, and a noise isolation mode, as well as the special effects mode when it comes to regarding movies and some YouTube video clips. You can get a special audio file on the AirPods Pros, which makes it sound a bit more crisper, and that's a pretty cool feature, which unfortunately you don't have from the original AirPods. So just for a quick recap, I use my original AirPods probably, I would say, 70% of the time, because 9 times out of 10 I'm at home or I'm at work in a room where I need to easily take them out, put them in, because I gotta talk to my boss, I gotta go and talk to my co-workers or something like that. So it's very easy to slip them in, slip them out, and just chuck them in the case, chuck it in my bag, then get off going to work or something like that. And as for the actual sound quality, I like the sound quality. Now, I'm not a audiophile type person, and the only other comparisons I have for the AirPods, comparing them to any other, are the Sennheiser, I believe, BX210s, the Beats X, and I had some really old Sony, like, cheap $20 headphones. I totally forgot the name of it because I was totally broke. I didn't have a job. I was still at school and I couldn't really afford anything, so I just grabbed some $20 ones because I thought it looked cool. I wanted to look like Eminem, but that didn't really turn out too well. But hey, I got some AirPods. It's cool. Since I listen to audiobooks are crystal clear. I like it, and calls are crystal clear, and music is good. However, when you turn it up to a particular point, I'd say above 60 or 70%, where one, it gets pretty loud for me personally, and it does hurt my ears if I go above the 30% mark because I have sensitive ears. However, it depends on your hearing level, depends how high you need that. The higher you need it, the chances are you might not have better hearing, but a topic for another discussion. So like I was saying, when it comes to music, I enjoy bass. I liked my Beats headphones when I had them because they could produce a lot of bass. From what I can tell, the difference of the AirPods versus like the Beats. The Beats definitely provide a bigger, thumpier bass, and I like bass because I enjoy that like thumpiness of like a pop song or a rap song or a K-pop song or something along the lines of that. And the AirPods, as much as they sound good regarding everything as audiobooks, calls, picking up my voice, music in general, just the bass lacks a little bit, which is kind of a disappointment. However, in the long term, because I've been using the AirPods and the AirPods Pros for about a year or two now, and I generally got used to the sound, and I don't really have any problem with it as I do now, unless I heavily focus on it. But if you just don't focus on it, you don't really notice. If you're on the market for looking for the original AirPods and not going with Pro versions, I highly recommend them. And the pros of the original AirPods over the Pros, in my personal opinion, is that I find them more comfy, I find them easier to put in and out, like really rapidly. Plug them in, sit, do your thing, take them out, put them in, and regarding charging times, generally for me it takes about 1 to 2 hours to get a full charger out of it when you're sticking the case either into your computer or a socket in your electric board. And as for the actual AirPods themselves, when you stick them in the case, it takes about an hour or two for them to fully charge, so it's not so long. And as for playback times, I generally get between 5 to 7 hours depending what I'm listening to. I've found that when I'm listening to things like Netflix, it drains the battery faster than when I'm listening to music. And music and audiobooks, I generally get around the 7 to 8 hour mark, and Netflix for some reason I get about 5. This might be a coinky dink, but that's generally what I've experienced. And now we'll just go on to the AirPods Pros. So I just want to show you the actual display of what the AirPods look like in case you do not already know before we jump onto the AirPods Pros. I'm going to also put them in my ear so you know how they look. And as you can see, unfortunately the AirPods Pros really get gunky with your earwax because these are like earwax sucking machines. It's pretty much like a vacuum for your earwax. There will be a video eventually on how you can clean them, because I do clean them. I recommend cleaning them at least for 10 minutes once a week. but this is pretty much what they look like. And this is just the front view, the side view, the back view, another side view, and a front view. So as you can see, these, I guess you can call them stems. I originally thought they were pretty long, however you do get used to them over time. They look long, and if you see people wearing them, you're kind of like but once again you eventually get used to them and they're not much of a hassle. But I find these very comfortable, and you can tap or you can double tap to play or playback your songs, and you can triple tap to skip a song. It's pretty cool, and my battery is once again going to die. So going through the AirPod Pros, we're gonna first go through the cons, then the pros. So first of all, starting with the cons. The thing is, what I don't like about the AirPod Pros is that when you put them in your ear as such, just like this is first of all what they look like, and currently it is on transparency mode because I can clearly hear myself, and if you tap and hold, so now it is in noise isolation mode where my voice is muffled, and the outside I can not hear that much. And I'm just going to turn it simply back on to transparency mode, just like that. So taking a look at it, this is what it looks like. As you can see, the stems are shorter, which is what I like. I like shorter stems compared to the original AirPods. And this is the back view. This is another side view. That's pretty much what they look like. So the cons of these are that it can easily build up earwax, such as the original AirPods. But the bad thing is about these, and I will actually show you, even though it's a little bit gross, if we look here, right? If we look here, and as you can see on the little rubbery bits, and on the inside you can see that there's the vent and the rubbery bit. So earwax easily gets caught inside here, and it's extremely difficult to get out. And along the insides, such as here, it's very hard to also clean. Now the way I clean the AirPods, it might not be the best way, but however, whenever I wear them, I stick them in my ear for however long, then I take them out, and I just simply grab it and just flick as much as I can out. There might be a better way, but I have not seen a better way so far. And this is looking at the design. So as you can see here, the black vent is how they allow transparency mode, and in transparency mode it's kind of like it opens up, so it lets the noise in, as well as you got it on this other side as well. And once you turn on noise cancellation mode, it's kind of like they close up themselves, and you can listen to your music or your audiobook or whatever you like to listen to. Now for the actual comfort of the AirPod Pros, I'm a bit of half-half on this. So I find them less comfortable than the original AirPods because I don't really like things sticking in my ear. I prefer either getting a traditional headset, such as the RAIZ Kraken Pros for like gaming, for example. I just like to have things sit on and sit around my ear, or I like to have things that just hook onto my ear. Now with AirPod Pros, since they sit in your ear and they're nice and snug, which is great, I love that it's snug. However, my ear design is a little bit strange, so it might vary from person to person. However, I find these a little bit uncomfortable, especially when you first put them in. But after about 10, 20, 30 minutes, you do get used to them. But with my ears personally, I still feel a bit of discomfort. However, I feel less discomfort than I do within the first 10 minutes in the longer duration, such as 20, 30, 40 minutes. I don't notice it that much, but it's still there for me just because of how my particular ears are designed. But that's how it is for me. Your experience might be different. So as with the original AirPods, the way you just simply connect them is tap and hold on your Bluetooth and find your AirPod Pros. So it's this one here. So we're currently connecting, and I've just connected. So tap back, then these are your AirPod Pros here. So as you can see, you have a whole volume button like normal, and down here you have two different effects. So you have one which is called special audio, which I believe increases the bass and gives a more enhancing sound. It works particularly good on Netflix and movies as well as TV shows. However, on things like audiobooks and music, it doesn't really make a difference from what I've heard. However, if you do want to activate it, you just go and you tap on it, and once it's turned blue, it just has enabled these special audio effects. So I'm just going to turn it off because I don't mind it being on or off. And if we tap the little dude here, you can see that we got transparency mode, we got off, which is like normal, and then you got noise cancellation mode. Currently, as you can see, we are on transparency mode, and if I turn this to off, it's kind of like a very muffled sound. And if we turn on to noise cancellation, it's a still muffled sound, but things are more clear. And the off is definitely a lot more muffled. It's kind of like someone speaking to you through a can. However, if we also turn on transparency mode, I can clearly hear myself like night and day. So when it comes to me actually listening to my music or my audiobooks, or ever so rarely watching Netflix, I normally read, watch, or listen to things on noise cancellation mode. And when I listen to things on noise cancellation mode, I feel very, I guess, in the moment, because I can't really hear that many things going on around unless you're in a very loud environment or you got people right next to you, then you can hear them muffling talking. But other than that, the actual sound quality of the AirPod Pros are very good, whether it's in transparency mode, off mode, or noise cancellation mode. All three of them have very good sound. And when it comes to bass with music, the bass I feel is a little bit heavier on the AirPod Pros compared to the original AirPods. However, I don't think it's that great comparing it to something like either Sennheiser's or Beats headphones, because that's more designed for actual listening to music, more bassier, more thumpier. If you're watching stuff like Netflix, then the sound's great, and if you're listening to audiobooks like on Audible, then the sounds are crystal clear, and these are pretty good, besides the cons that I mentioned before, but these are definitely a great purchase. Now these come at 399 Australian dollars, so it's about $80 more from the original AirPods that come with the wireless case to the AirPod Pros, which is the $80 more, and it gives you the Pro versions, and you get all these benefits as well as these cons, which apply to me more directly than anyone else. And do I think $80 is overpriced for such a jump in hearing or technology? I think $80 is sustainable. I think it's fine. I don't think it's that dramatic. So if I were to choose between the AirPods and the AirPod Pros, I would definitely say choose wisely between the two, and depends what you want and depends what your budget is. If you just want to go in for AirPods, they're great for listening and having conversations with people. However, the bass is lacking a little bit. Same as the AirPod Pros, the noise cancellation is great, the off mode is fine, and the transparency mode is very good. I can easily listen to music as well as having conversations with my family or friends. If the news is going on and I want to listen to my music, I can do both at the same time. As long as my transparency mode is on, things are working fine. I like the short stems more than the long stems on the original AirPods. I wish the original AirPods could get shorter stems, but I like the sleek design of the AirPod Pros more than the AirPods. I like that with the AirPods you can just sit them in and you can just easily take them out. However, with the AirPod Pros you need to kind of snug them in, and then they'll be good sitting there. So another con before I forget to mention it is that these tend to slip out of my ears eventually, whether I be bending over to either go and grab something, or that's a hot day, they tend to slip out, or if I go walking or running, then they tend to slide out over time. Unfortunate, but that might be my design. Usually I hear good things about people saying that they do sit in their ear, but it depends who you talk to, depends who's going to give you a particular answer. So that is pretty much my comparison of these two for AirPods versus the AirPod Pros. If you are on a more of a budget, I would just go with the original AirPods. However, if you can afford the $80 more, then I would go for the AirPod Pros. However, I would also say go to your Apple store or your local tech store and try out both, see what you like. Like I said, For me, the AirPod Pros are a little bit uncomfortable just because of my ear design, and I like the AirPods more because they sit in my ear. For me personally, that's more comfortable, and the bass is a little bit better on the AirPod Pros compared to the original AirPods. And I like the transparency mode feature and the noise cancellation feature on the AirPod Pros, and the original AirPods unfortunately don't have that feature. However, they're just normal, but I'm totally fine with that. And if you want to switch it back and forth, you can just go to your AirPod Pros and just hold for about 1 to 2 seconds and it can swap between the two. So it's pretty cool. And if you want to play and pause your music, you can just quickly tap and tap again. My music just started. And if you want to skip a track, you can just double tap and it just skipped for me, and triple tap to skip a song. Sometimes it does not work. However, you know, these things happen. Don't make a big deal out of it. That's what I would say. So just one quick close up. This is what it looks like in my ear. These are the AirPod Pros. And these are the original AirPods. And side view quickly. And that is pretty much what they look like. If you guys got any questions, comment them below, as well as if you want to pick these up, I will also leave an affiliate link for both the original AirPods as well as the AirPod Pros. If you do buy from there, I will get a small commission, helps out the channel and allows me to bring more tech products to the channel, and it would be much appreciated if you do that. So if you enjoyed today's video, remember to smash the like button as well as hit subscribe and tap the notification bell, and remember to check out my socials and click anywhere on screen for the next video. This is Brandon from BlazeTech. Bye.